Hello, freedom seekers. Jeremy Chambers, Independence Acres Homestead. It's a beautiful fall day. We're out here cleaning up the yard a little bit, making good use of these leaves in the garden, but we're also opening up some packages that we got in the mail this week. We are really excited. It is a great time to be buying products for next year's garden. Let me show you what we've got. Hey, sheepies. How are you? Well, first off, I'm going to start with probably the deal of the year. Now, this is a deal of the year, but it's also a deal of every year. And probably by the time this recording hits, all of these options will be gone. But you need to make sure that you keep an eye open for next year. Start planning now to make purchases next fall for the following year's garden. Here's why. Here is number one, the MI Gardener end of season grab bags. These were some great deals right here, okay? This is two of their grab bags. I think these are 20 bucks a piece. One of them has 30 packs of seeds, one of them has 35 packs of seeds. It's a lot of seeds, right? So it comes out to less than $1 a pack. And yeah, these are seeds that were packaged for the 2022 growing season. However, these are going to be good for years to come as long as they're taken care of. We're going to make sure that we keep them in a cool, dry place, keep them in a container so they're not being exposed to rodents and air and moisture. And these are just some great deals. Now, why do I like getting these grab bags? Well, number one, they're cheap, right? Who doesn't love a good deal? But number two is because it forces me out of my comfort zone a little bit when it comes to the seeds I'm going to buy. I've got a pretty straight path that I follow when it comes to buying seeds. I am buying tomatoes, I am buying peppers, I am buying herbs and flowers, I am buying some greens, very little squash. I don't really go outside of those seed genres. So this pushes me to go just a little bit further. And let's open up this pack here and I'll show you what we've got, because there's some really cool varieties in here. And something, like I said, stuff I would not buy for myself if it didn't come in these amazing grab bags. All right, let's open this up. It's got like a plastic knot in the plastic bag here. Not easy to get into. Not easy to get into. Oh, I'm amazing. All right, here we go. Number one, Golden Hubbard squash. If you've ever grown the Blue Hubbard, this is a similar variety. It's just golden. Nice. Bee balm, right? Here's a variety of onions that we grew this last year. Cipollini onions, a great one. Aunt Ruby's German green tomato. They actually had some grab bags that were just tomato varieties. Here is leaf lettuce. We've got another tomato, another tomato, another tomato, right? We got two varieties of Swiss chard here. We've got Ford Hook Giant and Lucullus Swiss chard. I don't know, I'm probably butchering that name, but hey, more Swiss chard. I don't hardly ever buy Swiss chard. It's not something, we eat it. We'll buy it from the store if a recipe calls for it, but we don't necessarily grow it. We've got parsley. Here we go. We got some piquillo peppers. This one I'm really excited to try, and we might even get them out there in the greenhouse this year, because we got 30 days to maturity on some black radish, black Spanish radish. Aren't those just cool? Nice black skin and a beautiful white flesh. Your basic crookneck squash, some red bunching onions, some aster, jalapeno peppers, wildflower mixes. These are going to go right into the ground next spring. We're going to put them right out there. This is going to be awesome. Some more lettuce. Another thing I would have never purchased for myself, eggplant. I'm not a huge eggplant fan, but you know what? These just look cool, right? Chia seeds. We can make our own chia pets. We got some dent corn. Something else I probably would have never gotten on my own, but I'm going to try to grow it since it's in this seed pack, and that is the jelly melon. We've got Wonder Bell peppers. We've grown these before. This is their Homestead variety pack, and these grow well. Kohlrabi, amazing. Purslane. This is a foraging edible. Usually it grows in your garden as a volunteer, but hey, now we got seeds for it. We've got some Burnet. I have no clue what it is. It's a Mediterranean variety that has a light and delicious cucumber flavor. Okay, we'll give it a shot. Another type of tomato, some parsnip, and here we go, pumpkins for next year. All right, so and that's just one pack, guys. I'm not even gonna go through the second one because it's just, I think between the two packs we have maybe one duplicate. That is pretty awesome. I mean, we're talking almost 70 varieties of seeds that I would have probably otherwise never tried. So if you can ever get in on the MI Gardener grab bags, make sure that you grab some because they're called grab bags, so you got to grab them. All right. The next thing, and this is something that we not necessarily got a deal on, but this is something that you have to start planning this time of year to purchase so that you can get it in the ground now, and that's garlic. Normally I just save bulbs back from the previous year. I think I got some seed garlic 2 years ago from MI Gardener, and it does okay. And we usually just hold back a couple cloves, heads to break down into cloves and then put into the ground. But this year I tried something new, and we bought some garlic from Mad River Garlic Growers. They're actually in Ohio. They're just a cooperative of garlic growers that grow different varieties and then come together and they sell them on the online forum. The links for these things will be in the description below. One variety that I've heard a lot of talk about, my buddy up here, also in Michigan, the Homestead gardener. Well, Homestead is the name of his channel, but he's a backyard gardener there, and he speaks very highly of this garlic variety right here. This is the music variety. It's supposed to just have wonderful flavor, should grow really well in our climate. We did purchase both hardneck varieties to grow in our garden because of the climate that we're in. So I got a pound of music, and I also got a pound of food softneck varieties just for us to eat. And then I also got a pound of Georgian crystal garlic. This is another one of those heirloom hardneck varieties. Just a beautiful clove. I mean, it's huge. These are, inch and a half long cloves here. So this is going to be really exciting. I can't wait to get these in the ground. And that brings us to our next purchase of packages that was delivered yesterday. All this came in the mail yesterday. It was like Christmas at the end of October here. I was so excited to get all of this mail yesterday. So like I said, the grab bag from my gardener, the garlic from Mad River Garlic Growers, and then finally the last two packages, they're actually the exact same thing, two of the same thing, and we needed a place to put the garlic, to grow the garlic this fall. We're going to be putting pigs into our main garden, let it go fallow this next year and putting pigs into it. So I needed a place to put my garlic this year, and our soils, it can go from sandy over here by the house to very clay and thick and heavy, and so I wanted to make sure that we put them into a raised bed, or at least a heavily amended soil, so that we could get a much better growth of those garlic heads. So I went back to Olle Raised Bed Gardens again. Let me show you. This is it's heavy, 37 pounds. This is their 12-in-1 raised bed. See right there? And never in my life did I think that I would be using metal raised beds. I really like the aesthetics of, the split timber beds. I'm really not big on, milled lumber beds, but the split lumber beds, I really love the way they look. And I really like the aesthetics. And, anytime anybody would bring up the idea of a metal raised bed, I always thought of like a corrugated metal bed, and those just look too industrial. They really don't blend in with the organic, natural look that we're kind of going for with the garden. And so, raised beds, metal raised beds, I always kind of just stayed away from them. I was like, no thanks. But then when I came across these Olle beds, and we got our first set, like I said, I was hesitant at first, but Man, this thing, this sage green, it just really blends in with the natural aesthetics of the garden that we're going for. So we're gonna be putting this over in the garden expansion. I got 2 of these, and I gotta check the configurations. But I think I'm gonna do the 44 by 76 inch bed that you can make out of this. That's a stinking big bed. I think it's like 31 square feet of growing space, and no, I think my math's wrong on that. 20, 50, 60, 60. That's a lot. This is 28 square feet of growing space. Anyway, that's should be more than enough for the garlic that we ordered. But really happy with these beds. Really love the quality of them. I'm not going to go through the whole assembly with you guys on this because we did that in our previous raised bed video from Ollie. So not going to bore you with that, but we're going to head on out to the garden, and I'm going to show you where we're going to put these, and then I am going to get them put together and get them in position. So let's head on out to the garden and get these things put together. So we've been really busy out here in the garden expansion here, working to get things cleaned up. We got our pepper plants torn down already, got those beds all put away for winter. So you know, if we get a little snow, no big deal. The flowers here are still actually going pretty strong. The chamomile is surprisingly doing very well for the frost we've had. It was a pretty hard frost yesterday, but the chamomile's still doing pretty well. And then straw flowers and the lavender. We gotta get the lavender trimmed and covered here this week before it gets too much colder. But right over here is where we're gonna be putting those Ollie raised beds. Probably I'm gonna have to push this over a little bit more so that we can have plenty of room, but the first one's gonna go right here. See where this black bar is? First one's gonna line up with that black bar, 40 inches wide, come across there, and then the other one's gonna be about another foot over, so we'll leave a foot in between. And this is gonna be where the garlic beds are gonna be. These Ollie beds are gonna look great here. All right, let's start getting them together. Once again, I'm not gonna bore you guys with putting these together. I'll show you what they look like once they're done. Well, here we are. We've got the Ollie raised garden bed in place, I think. Still trying to decide. I think Shelly and I agreed it's gonna go the same direction as the rest of the beds here in the garden extension. But, you know, I might change my mind and go perpendicular here. Who knows, right? But I've got one more to build, one more to install, and then it's a matter of filling it. We're gonna use the same method that we did to fill our last one. We're gonna do that hugelkultur method, which is a great thing about building garden beds in the fall, is because now we've got all of these, you know, dead fall branches and leaves and all this good organic matter to help fill this up, but also then to mulch the top of the bed once we get it completely installed and we get the garlic planted. So if you're like me and you never thought you'd be using a metal raised bed, check out the Ollie garden beds. Link is in the description below, and there's also a coupon code there for 10% off. Go check it out. Well, hopefully these deals have inspired you to do a little bit of shopping this fall, or if nothing else, start next fall to prepare for the following spring's garden. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time, God bless.